Hey, welcome to Ginger Sports Podcast, episode 5. Today, myself and Luke are previewing this weekend's golf, the US Open, major number 2 of the year. Major number 1, unfortunately, went to Patrick Reed. Not ideal, but we hope for a better result in major number 2, not playing favourites. To be honest, I actually won, I think I had Patrick Reed at 50-1 to win the Masters. Also had Rory McIlroy and Henrik Stenson on, and I would happily have lost my money to see Rory McIlroy win that major and complete the Grand Slam. But what can you do? Patrick Reed was a better golfer on the day. Don't know what happened to Rory, but there you go. This is the first podcast that we've done that's not been football based, so we'll see how it goes. I personally really like doing them. I love golf. The Ryder Cup is possibly my favourite sporting event, full stop. 100% I'm taking the Friday off work, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday I'm doing nothing but watching golf. Not that makes me qualified to talk about it, I'm just a massive golf fan. I'm not a particularly good player in the grand scheme of things, but I'll do my best. I think myself and Luke have researched this fairly well, but who knows, we might not be qualified enough to talk about golf, but we had fun doing it and it got us excited for Thursday. Hopefully it does the same for you guys. Here's a podcast, let us know what you think, please. I'm just going to go straight into it. US Open at Shinniecock Hills in New York, the oldest golf club in the US. 2018 will be the 5th US Open. 4th was held there in 2004, where Retief Goosen was a winner. Phil Mickelson finished 2nd. There's been a lot of changes since then. You want to weigh in on this? You've had a wee look?
I have. There's been a lot of changes. That's where I started my little look here. I find the US Open, more than any other tournament, suits certain players for their game. The Open Championship obviously does, but you kind of know what you're going to get. Whereas the US Open, the course has changed so much. So I had a little look to see what they've done since 2004, because 2004 was actually really famous for being too tough.
Winning score was -4. Phil Mickelson was -2, and then I think everyone else was over par.
Correct. So the cut was at 6 over, and only 2 players finished under par. For the weekend was particularly the area where the USGA actually got slated because they just went too far with it. So, as I've just mentioned, the cut was 6 over. The person in last place after 2 more rounds finished 30 over.
Jesus Christ!
Shot an 89 on the Sunday.
Right, so that's a professional golfer.
Exactly. So there was a few key issues with the course, notably the 7th for par 3. Where they actually had to stop play for a little bit and get the sprinklers out because the first few groups, the hole was pretty much impossible. To the extent where the first 3 players got a triple bogey, and the 4th, tee shot straight onto the green, his putt went into the bunker.
Jeez.
Because they had just made it too impossible, too fast, too quick, too slopey. So they got slated for that. So there's been numerous changes. And since it was 2004, it's obviously been lengthened quite a lot. So the total yardage of the course is 449 yards longer. And it's spread across pretty much every hole. It looks a bit of a demon. Most of the par 4s are over 500 yards. There's only 2 par 5s, as always with the US Open, and one of them is 600 yards. So there's not many holes to go after. I read through all of the holes earlier, and there's 1 or 2 holes which are set for the big hitters. The first hole is apparently drivable. The Course Pro has said the first hole is drivable, but he'd be surprised if people go for it because it's hole number 1, and it's a dog leg, so it's not a straight go for it, bomb it down. It's a massive risk reward first hole, so I'd be surprised if people are going for that. I think it's going to be really tough, but it's not going to be as bad as last time. They're going to be cautious of that because they got slated so much. The only thing I would add to that is the USGA do like it to be the hardest golf tournament of the year, and they won't have liked the winning score last year was 16 under.
Yeah, that is it for them to try and find the balance between they got it too hard the last time it was a Shinniecock, and they still want it to be the toughest test of the year. It's going to be tough. I saw a few videos on Twitter of people dropping balls into the rough, and it just disappears. It's the rough's at knee high.
Yeah.
And if that gets wet as well, if it starts raining, it's going to be horrible to play out of. So you're thinking whoever does win is going to need to drive well.
Yeah.
You just can't be erratic. You can't say, I'm just going to hit it 350 and wherever it lands, let's play it from there. I think you need to be hitting fairways.
Yeah.
It's the way. Also watched a few videos, USGA videos on YouTube, and it showed you the greens, and it showed you the setup of the course. There is no trees at all on it, so if the wind picks up, it's going to get very windy very quickly. Is what, again, and I was listening to a few podcasts on it. They have said if there's no wind, it could play pretty easy. That it's one of those they're going to have to rely on a little bit of the weather picking up, and that's what they want to happen. So yeah, I'm thinking as with most golf tournaments, most decent tests, same with the Open, you're gonna have to drive well.
You're gonna have to drive well. You're gonna have to. I mean, one stat that I did find, it's a strange one. So essentially, in 2004, the average fairway width on the course was 26.6 yards, and it's now 41.6. So it's increased by 50 yards width. So straight away you think, okay, that's not so bad. However, when you go on to read it, you realise that although that is the case, there's so much more danger around it. Pretty much all of the drives for the big guys, they've got to not only hit 300, they've got to clear 300 to get rid of fairway bunkers and so forth. So it's a little bit wider, but like you said, you literally cannot get in that rough. You're in that rough. There is, from the course pro himself has said, it doesn't matter who you are. If you go in the rough from the tee on a par 4, you're not making the green. It's as simple as that. You just can't get out of it.
You can't. I'm not exaggerating at all. It was knee-high rough, and it's not as if the ball wasn't sitting up in anything. It just popped down straight away. It's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
So, just a weird stat that I saw. One of the qualifiers for the US Open, full-time NHL referee Garrett Rank qualified after shooting back-to-back 71s in a sectional qualifier. If you want to stick a wee quid on, he's 1,000 to 1 to win. Guy's clearly got a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah.
NHL. Work on his golf game now that the hockey season's over. Didn't waste any time. Right, shall we start dissecting?
Let's start. So the one hole I did want to mention, the one hole that Rory himself has pulled out, and the one I think is going to cause chaos, is the 11th par 3. Right. It's not very big at all. It's about 150 yards, but he himself has says there's a bunker at the back left, and if you're in that, a 5 is a good score.
Really?
And if Rory's coming out and saying that already, then that is trouble out the back there. So I'm looking forward to seeing a few people land in there and see what their approach is.
You'd love to play it. You'd love to just.
Well, if he's saying 5 is a good score, I would quite literally take about 27 on that hole.
just picking your ball up after 15. No, this isn't for me.
Serious tempers thrown, yeah.
USGA, get ourselves sorted. Invite us down to media day. Just watch us chop up the course. Right. Let's start with the old boys, because golf's in a position where the balance from good players, good old players to good young players is tremendous. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely brilliant. You've still got your old legends, you've got your Phils, your Tigers, even someone like Justin Rose, Sergio Garcia, they're 37, 38, or no spring, no spring chickens. And then you've got your young boys, your Justin Thomases, even the young talent coming out of America, Patrick Cantley, Brooks Koepka. I never have any idea how to pronounce his name. Koepka? Like John Ram, he's 23, going on 45.
Yeah, 2 years on the tour already.
Yeah, it's like, so start with the old boys. Phil Mickelson, runner-up here in 2004. Mm-hmm. He turns 48 on Saturday. 5-time major champion, 6-time US Open runner-up. He needs this for the Grand Slam. You need to think he can't have too many more. It sounds weird. He's won this year. He's it's 6 top 10s.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like he's slowing down, but you see 48, you're like, surely not. Surely you can't keep up with your Dustin Johnsons, your Rory McIlroys too many times when you're 48 years old.
No, he can't, can he? The only thing I would say to that is, we've just mentioned it ourselves, it's going to take a wise head to get around that course. And course management could be the biggest thing. So if he is going to go on to win 1 or 2 more majors, it could well be this or the Open. Was it 2016? Him and Stenson had that ridiculous battle at the Open.
At the Open, yeah, it could be.
He rolled back the years there, and again, it was just playing well on a tough course. Like, if it wasn't for Stenson, he'd have shot a record score anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see Phil causing too much trouble this week, to be honest, because like you said, as you mentioned, this, as long as I've watched golf, I don't remember the field being this strong. There's 30 or 40 names that you could pull out and make a case for, and that's brilliant. Probably, it's great for the neutral, but it's probably Phil's problem now. I think he could have a good week, and there's no reason why he couldn't get a top 10. I think there's too much talent in the field for him to get it. I think it's almost written in the stars that he won't win the US Open.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be a shame, because a guy like that deserves to win the Grand Slam. He's going to go down as one of the best of all time. He's why you watch golf.
Yeah.
Those ridiculous flop shots and stuff. That's why you watch golf. It makes it interesting. But he is wild off the tee with a driver in the hand.
Yeah,
wild. I can't see him being accurate enough. He's 201st in the PGA Tour in driving accuracy.
Jeez.
I don't even know how many more players there are than 201. Strokes gained off the tee is 131st.
Yeah.
I would love to see it if I could. Out of the two that can win the Grand Slam, winning the US Open, Phil Mickelson and Jordan Spieth, I would love to see Phil do it, because Jordan Spieth's going to have 25 more chances to do it.
Doesn't Spieth need the PGA?
He won the US.
Yeah, he won the US the year that Dustin choked, when he had the eagle putt to win and ended up free putting.
Then completely forget that. I did. I'd love to see Phil win it. Everyone else is going to have tons more chances. He can't have many more. No. Next, go Tiger. I have to go Tiger. I could spend all day talking about Tiger. It's the most excited I've been for a sporting comeback from any sport ever.
Yeah.
It's weird how anyone else, and I include Rory in this, who I reckon is the second most exciting player who transcends pop culture. Tiger just makes golf exciting. I don't watch too much golf on a Sunday, and by that I mean I don't occasionally watch. I'll occasionally watch it on a Sunday if it's interesting, but I won't tune in regularly to watch the Zurich Open on a Thursday. But if Tiger Woods is within 10 of the leader on a Sunday, I'm watching it.
Yeah. And
so many more people are as well. It's generally not an exciting sport, and he makes it exciting for whatever reason. It's just everything about the man, the persona, the arrogance, the walking in putts from 30 feet, the club twirls. I love everything about it. If he were to win, are you saying greatest sporting comeback ever?
I can't see how it wouldn't be. The comeback has already far exceeded expectations for me, simply because he tried 2 or 3 times, and it actually got to the point where you thought, this is a bit sad, isn't it? Like, he's gonna fall out here, and it's just going to be the end of a legend. I know.
Couldn't walk in September.
And he's been awesome. I know he's played very few events, but he's already got 3 top 10s, a second. But it's more that you say he looks like himself as well. He's driving the ball well. I think this is a different challenge, though. I think he drives the ball well at the moment, which is obviously massively important. But having watched him last week, he can't putt, and that's massive. He just can't putt at the moment, and so I wonder whether that's going to be too much for him to really make a challenge, or even, to be honest with you, make the cut. In 2004, he was 10 over.
Ooh.
Which was actually tied 17th, so not quite as bad as it sounds. But he was 10 over, so he's not exactly got a history on this course.
Yeah.
I would love it more than anything if he was to win this week. I would love it, but I I see him not making the cut.
That'd possibly be a good bet. He's 22-1 to win it. I don't know what he is to miss the cut, but I imagine you're getting decent odds. I can see where you're coming from, because I don't actually think he's driving the ball particularly good either. I think he's driving the ball better when he's taking 3 irons and 2 iron stingers, and he's hitting fairways, but when he gets the driver out, I think he's still pretty much as wild as he's always been. I've seen him in gardens, I've seen him in the water. He's 123rd in strokes gained off the tee. Better than Phil, but no, not great. It's if he can get his iron play dialed in, strokes gained, approach shots, he's 4th. Strokes gained around the green, he's 5th. But yeah, as you said, he's putting.
He missed. It was last week. It might not have been so bad all season, but last week he missed 5 or 6 chances from around 8-10 feet that should have just rolled straight in, and they made massive differences. I hope he does well. I think it would just be incredible if he made a little charge on Sunday and won another US Open.
That's what you want. I mean, he was close enough going into the weekend at the Masters where I was like, I am so excited for this. Another tournament like the Masters, and I'm happy just without the outcome of Patrick Reed winning. But
couldn't be any worse.
The big boys were all there on the Sunday final page of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy with that, and I'd love Tiger at 42. However many, I wrote a piece on it, and his injury history was like half a page long or something.
But serious ones as well. We're talking back where he couldn't even walk, like you said. It's not ankle sprains and so forth.
No, it's back and knees. But pretty essential body parts for golf.
Swinging a club is ridiculous.
And the fact that his club head speed has went up. he's playing with a smile on his face. I'm with you. I would love him to do it. I don't think this is the major for him to do it. And so, question: do you think he can win another? He will win another major. Can he win, and will he win another major?
I think he can win another major. I think he can. I think he needs to get 1 or 2 wins on the PGA Tour to even potentially believe himself. I think he can win another major. I don't think it's here. I don't think it's a course as tough as this. I think he could win another Masters.
Yeah.
I think he could win at Augusta again. He showed enough on the first couple of days to think he still knows how to play that course.
Yeah.
I think he could win another Masters. And PGA Championship, yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he can win one, and if he does win one, it'll be the Masters where that course knowledge is so vital.
Yeah.
You very rarely see people playing it for the first time
and
even making the cut.
He knows it.
Yeah, I would agree. Go on to some other. We'll go to a man that I backed for the Masters each way because he was ridiculous odds. Henrik Stenson, he's 42, one-time major champion, British Open 2016, where he beat Phil. He finished T5 at the Masters. I think again, just experience, he could do alright here. He's been shortened down to 30-1, but he's strokes gained off. He's a good driver of the golf ball. Strokes gained off the tee, he's 13th, and his strokes gained approach shots, he's first. He can get it there if his short game is dialed in. He could do very well. He's still the 17th ranked player in the world, and I don't see why someone like him isn't good value for an each way bet at least.
Each way bet, definitely. He's unbelievably consistent with his free wood, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just every single hole, straight out and straight on the fairway, which is exactly what we're saying you need on this course. So there's no reason why not. He's certainly not going to play himself into too much trouble, you'd have thought.
No, I wouldn't think so. And he makes the game look far too easy. Guys like him and Ernie Els make you not want to play golf anymore because they just swing so slow and so good, and it goes 300 yards.
Yeah,
easy. I think Stenson could be a wee outside.
I think there's a top 10 finish in there. For sure.
Justin Rose again, no spring chicken, 37. He's third favourite with the bookies at 16-1. He won the US Open back in 2013, number 3 ranked player in the world. He is possibly the form player in the world right now, and I mean that consistency-wise. Obviously, DJ's been tremendous, Justin Thomas has been tremendous, but Justin Rose has won 3 times this season.
Yeah.
He's got 8 top 10s, 6 of them top 5s. While he's not outstanding at one particular category, strokes gained off the tee, 17th, strokes gained approach, 27th, strokes gained around the green, 15th, and strokes gained putting, 10th. He's just a consistently very, very good player. He probably deserves to win more than the one major, I think.
It would be unbelievable if he left with one major.
Yeah, the career he's had.
He should have won the Masters when Garcia won it. He's had a couple of other opportunities. And like you said, the form goes back even further than that. I had a little look, and because he ended the season well as well last year. In his last 20 starts, he's got 15 top 10s.
That's
just
insane.
Unbelievable form. And that includes 4 wins.
Yeah.
So how can you not think he's in with a shout this week? I love watching him play. He's so solid. It's almost like Mr. Reliable. It's like James Milner on a golf course. He doesn't, like you said, he doesn't do anything flash, but he just slowly builds away. He's very rarely going to go out and shoot a 62, a 63, but there's a very good chance he'll put together 4 69s and win on 4 under.
He's the guy, when it comes to September, in your Ryder Cup Sunday, you want him out either first or second or coming up the back, just because you fancy him to beat anyone on his day, and like you say, just reliable, solid player.
The only cause for concern, again, this is 14 years ago, but when he played there in 2004, he missed the cut with a score of 15 over.
Yeah, you wonder how mentally tough are you? Does any of that factor into play?
A lot has happened in 14 years. That's what you would say for him.
Definitely. I mean, he's a different human being now, being 23 at the time. But there could be a chance. Golf's a very mental.
Oh yes.
Total mental game, and when he's standing over the tee, you might go. When I was last there, I put it left into bunker X. So you never know what effect that's going to have. But for me, form player in the world just now, he's a great bet. 16-1. Sergio Garcia, does he get a chance at all?
No, I don't. I personally don't think so. I think Sergio may well. I think we may see Sergio slowly peter out now that he has got that elusive major. Yeah. It's almost as if he was chasing it for his entire career, and once he got it, and let's face it, it's probably the one he wanted out of all of them anyway. I think he's going to slow down a bit now. He's still a top quality goalkeeper.
He might well be.
Still a top quality golfer, and I expect him to make the cut and maybe push for the top 20. I don't expect him to be up the top.
His last 5 results in the PGA Tour: 4 missed cuts and a 70th place finish.
See, that doesn't surprise me. Even the Masters was a shambles. Obviously, there was the one hole which kind of killed it all, but even still, it wasn't great outside of that, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's finally got himself. He's got himself a family.
Yeah,
I think he's got a daughter now.
Yeah,
you could be right. His motivations could now lie outside the golf course. He's cemented his legacy really as a major champion. No one can take that away from him. He's got his Ryder Cup record. I'm sure there'll come a time where he will want more, but I could see why right now in his life he wouldn't be as motivated as he can be. Maybe once he's settled into family life a bit more, next season comes around. And
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
The timing of it, probably not now.
Yeah, I think it's reflected in the bookies' odds as well, 50-1. Tell you who could be a wee dark horse? Paul Casey. 40-year-old Paul Casey.
I've got him on my list as well.
Yeah. He for a while he was just off the grid, and for a while I think it was quite a while. It was a good 5 years or something. You heard nothing from Paul Casey. If my memory serves me right, I believe he hurt himself skiing. He was injured for a long time, and then just couldn't get back to where he was, and had to actually manually work his way back in, and like not relying on sponsors' invitations and stuff. I think he lost his cards. I could
quite possibly, because like you said, he just completely went off the radar for a long time. And it's only the last couple of years where he's slowly crept back, and you realise he's still a top quality golfer.
And he is a top quality golfer. He's got 1 win this season at the Valspar.
And that's only his second PGA win ever.
Yeah, yep. 4 top 10s. He was 15th at the Masters. He was 5th at Wells Fargo 3 weeks ago. Yeah. He's hitting a bit of form. For me, he could be really good odds for someone. I've always liked Paul Casey, and I think he's got that sort of Justin Rose English arrogance about him, where he believes in his own game. He's not going to get.
You can see it in his interviews. Yeah, there's definitely a touch of arrogance. He has missed the cut 6 out of 14 times at the US Open, which is not a healthy return, but that probably does include a barren few years, like we mentioned. The last couple of years have been good for him. He actually made a bit of a charge at the Masters. I think he shot a 63 or a 64 on the last day.
Yeah, he can do it. I know Martin's opinion on him is he never wins when he's ahead. He always has to come from behind. He's not a front runner.
He does have an unbelievably low amount of wins for a player that is as good as he is.
Yeah.
But I like his outside chances this week.
Yeah. Right, let's get to some big boys. Dustin Johnson, world number 1, the favourite to win it.
Yeah.
I think most people would have seen, and if they didn't, how he just won the St Jude Classic, which I have never seen before in my life. I've never seen someone hole out with a 9-iron from the middle of the fairway to win the tournament.
And that 9-iron went 171 yards as well.
It was absolutely astounding. He chipped in something like 3 times that week as well, including one when he was standing in the water with no socks or shoes on. He's another one. I know I said Justin Rose is the form player in the world just now, but Dustin Johnson for about 2 or 3 years now has been phenomenal, and he deserves to be the number 1 player of the world.
Yeah.
7 top 10s this season, unsurprisingly. Strokes gained off the tees first.
Yeah.
2 wins this season. He's 1-time major champion, and he's another one like Justin Rose where you're too good to only win 1 major championship. He has to, but he will win more. He will win more.
I would say almost certainly he will win. He will win a few more in the next few years. I think there's 4 players for me that if they turn up and play at 95% of their ability, they probably win the golf tournament.
Yeah.
I think if all 4 turn up and play at 95% of their ability, Dustin is the one that wins.
You think so?
I think so. At the moment, I think I've watched a fair few weeks on the PGA Tour like this season, and this week I actually watched quite a lot this weekend.
Doing your prep.
He just makes it look so easy.
Yeah. It's his facial expression. There's nothing. He never panics.
No. It didn't even bother him that he sunk it from 171 yards. He didn't even react. He just won the golf tournament. He did nothing. I don't know if the course doesn't not set up for him, but I don't think it particularly sets up for the big long hitter. It's not as if there's too many holes where you're going to get the rewards from a 350-yard drive. Having said that, it certainly doesn't do you any harm on a long course. If he can control the drives, which he usually does, he's always going to be favourite. I mean, pretty much every hole I saw this week, it was driver wedge for him.
Yeah.
Driver wedge. It's just insane, really.
But it is. A lot of these PGA Tour courses are very, very easy for the guys that hit that far because they're not scared of the rough. They're not scared of going offline.
Yeah.
Here, he's going to be scared of the rough. A little bit. It should make a difference in his decision making off the tee, which might actually make him play even better.
Yeah.
Because he might take 3-wood instead of he hit his 3-wood 300 was it 315, 320 this week, and whatever the guy he was playing with hit his driver 303.
Yeah, it's just there was a couple of holes this week when on Sunday where you could see his playing partner was taking his second shot, and you could only just see Dustin in the screen. He was so far ahead, it's ridiculous.
Like he doesn't even need to take driver.
No.
Question: there's only been, so obviously he's world number one. There's only been 4 players ever to win a major championship as world number one. Can you name them? The ranking started in 1986.
Did Greg Norman?
Nah. So two of them are still playing and are playing this week, and 2 of them are in the Champions Tour.
I feel like Rory might have picked one up when he was a world number one.
Yep, Rory's one.
Did Nick Faldo on the Champions Tour?
Nah.
This is pretty tough, actually. Potentially Dustin Johnson himself then, if he was world number one at 2016. No, Speith?
Nah. You have it. The one that's playing is Tiger.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
So the other 3 have won one when they're world number one. He's won 11. 11 out of his 14 have been when he's world number one.
Jesus.
The other 2, a little bit tougher. Fred Couples and Ian Wisdom.
Yeah, I would not have got that.
But yeah, you need to fancy Dustin.
You got it,
He's favourites for a reason, and he's actually quite heavy favourites.
Any golf tournament where they're out at 9-1, it shows how well they're playing. To think that you can be 9-1 in a field of over 100 players on a course that tough, it's unbelievable.
Second favourite, Rory McIlroy.
Yep.
Who is the man where I think, to your point, if everyone plays well, I think Rory wins. I just think Rory can go and blow the field away. I think he's the best player of his generation, but just way too often he's either really hot or 78 or something. He just throws it away.
Yeah.
Like he should have won the Masters. He was in the final pairing with Patrick Reed. He's a far better player than Patrick Reed, and for whatever reason, he was out of it by the 9th hole.
Well, he killed himself on the second hole. He missed a 5-footer for eagle.
Yep.
Which was recoverable because actually he had gained 2 shots on him in 2 holes, but clearly went straight to his head.
Yeah.
And he never recovered.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's where your caddy should come into play. I don't know how much influence his caddy has over him, but yeah, mentally he's just got to be a bit stronger there. Yeah. He won the US Open in 2011. I think he could do it again. Rory's just too hard to predict.
Yeah.
Like his form this season's been okay. He's won once, 3 top 10s in the PGA Tour, but it almost doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
If you come in off the back of 5 missed cuts, just turn it on, just something clicks, and he wins the golf tournament by 6 or 7 strokes.
Yeah.
And that's with all those great players in the field. It's just so hard to read.
He is, especially the last couple of years. He had a spell, didn't he, when he did win 2 majors in 3 months. And he actually hasn't won a major in about 3 or 4 years, which is mad. When he's 28, 29, he's got 4 majors. He cannot put 4 rounds together at the moment. That's why I don't see him winning this week. I think he is one of the 4, as I mentioned. If he turns up and plays anywhere near his best, he does win. Because I agree, he probably is. Well, he is the best player on the tour. There's no 2 ways about that. But he hasn't been for the last couple of years. I mean, even he's done it a couple of times this year. Arnold Palmer, he did come back. He did show why he's such a champion. He won unbelievably from about 7 shots behind. But then on the flip of that, like you said, the Masters, he'll never get a better chance of winning the Masters than that.
No.
And Wentworth, just a couple of weeks ago, obliterated the field in the first 2 rounds with something like 13 under par. Saturday and Sunday finished about 1 under par, 2nd place. It's not bad, but how on earth did he not win that golf tournament?
2nd place. At this point in his career, he's already going to go down as one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
The 2nd place, he's mean nothing. Absolutely nothing to him. He needs to be winning golf tournaments and needs to be winning majors as well. Yeah. We place a lot of emphasis on majors. Obviously, Rory is a great player. Obviously, Phil's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. Yeah. Rory only has 1 less major than him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's still at 28, has got the chance to. I don't think he'll ever get to Tiger's level. I don't think that will ever be done again. But he can get himself in that bracket which very few are talked about. Gary Player, Palmer, Nicholas Woods. He can get himself into that bracket. I think he still could get to double figures. He's so tough, like you said. I can see him going out there this week and shooting a 63. I can also see him going out the next day and shooting a 75. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know with him.
What about Justin Thomas? Another one of the ridiculously formed players in the world.
Yep.
Right. So he has been outside the top 25 in one tournament this season, where he was cut at the Zurich Classic, but 2 wins, 6 top 10s. He's kind of like Justin Rose-ish, where he's just phenomenally consistent.
Yeah.
Again, like one-time major champion. He's another one. He's going to win more majors. It could very easily be this week.
Well, he's only 23 or 24 himself, is he not? He's
25.
25 now, is he? So he's young as well.
Yep.
So my 4 that I think can turn up a win are Rory, DJ, JT and Spieth.
Yep.
For me, they're the ones that you just can never rule out. I think JT has been awesome, like you said, for the last year or so. I love watching him play, actually. He does kind of play with... He is like Rose, I know what you mean in terms of consistency, but he does have a little bit of Rory about him in terms of that no laying up approach, which I like watching.
Yeah, he's an aggressive, an aggressive player. I would like to see. He's a very likable guy, Justin Thomas. He's another. He bombs it as well. I think he's like 5'10" or something, and he just moors the ball, melts it down there. So he's going to need to, as we've said again and again, if he drives it straight, he could do very well.
Yeah.
Do you know, someone I think a lot of people are sleeping on is Jason Day.
Yes.
Jason Day, another one-time major champion, number 8 in the world. People forget how good Jason Day was for a period of time. I'm going to take you back to 2015. In between February 2015 and May 2016, he won 8 times, including the 2015 PGA Championship.
That's Tiger at his best form. That's
phenomenal. Former world number 1. He's not missed a cut this season.
Won a few weeks ago.
Yeah, won twice this season. In strokes gained putting, he's first. People are sleeping on Jason Day. Honestly, he's 18-1. He could be a great shot. He's one. I know he's not included in your list. But if he turns up, he went away for a while. I think, I don't want to misspeak here, but I think his mum died or something, and it really affected him. And he had a massive slump in form in 2017.
No, you're right. I remember it. Yeah, I remember him coming out and she was ill. But he is. This is where it's so tough to predict with golf at the moment. They're the 4 I pulled out as I think are probably just a little bit ahead. But you've also then got 10 or 15 players that are just behind them and are also very capable of winning. And he probably leads that pack. He's a class player. There's no reason why he can't win that. And actually, he does come alive in the majors. I know he's only won 1. But I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but he must have a few top 5s in there. I can remember him running up at the Masters a couple of times.
Yeah, I also do not know the numbers, but yeah, I'm just going to assume they are very good. The fact that if you're first in strokes gained putting, you're doing something right and you're well primed coming into a US Open course. Yeah, he's my sleeper out of the elite guys. I would not be surprised if he wins it at all.
Yep.
What about Ricky Fowler? 29 years old, hasn't won a major. He's had 4 career wins. That's it. People are surprised when you say that because Ricky Fowler's a big name in golf.
Yeah.
Big sponsorship deals. He looks the part, but he's only had 4 wins ever.
He has.
Second at the Masters this year.
He's a nearly man at the moment. I've done my work on Ricky, and I've got a big theory this week. So you've already mentioned how golf is an incredibly mental game, and actually a lot of times when you see a winner come through off the field, they're mentally clear and they bring that into the ropes and they're okay on the course. 3 examples for you. 2016 Masters. Danny Willett has his first child 1 week before the tournament starts.
Yep.
And goes on to win the Masters. We can all agree Danny Willett is not a Masters
Danny
quality player.
Danny Willett's in the wilderness just now. He's playing off of those Masters exemptions.
Yep, exactly.
He should be playing with me.
Yeah, exactly. The quote that I pulled out from here, his brother came out directly after and said, "He went out with no expectation whatsoever. Something so much more important had just happened to him. It took all of the pressure off and he just enjoyed himself." Second example, Rory McIlroy winning at Wentworth 4 days after he split from Caroline Wozniacki.
That was just off of that. That was a bold move. The invitations had been sent out for the wedding.
Bold move.
Bailed.
And I'm pretty sure he did it over a text message as well. But there we go. But anyway, when pushed on that, he came out and said, "When I was inside the ropes, it was a bit of a release. I was on my own doing what I do best, and it gave me 4 or 5 hours of serenity and sanctuary." My final, I don't have a quote for this one, unfortunately, because I watched it on Netflix and can't remember it. But Tiger at the 2006 Open, 9 weeks after his dad had died.
Yep.
He went on to win the tournament, and he says in the documentary he can't shake off the feeling, because it's known for on the 18th green he completely breaks down once he wins.
Yep.
But he says it was an incredible release of emotion, and actually what he remembers from the tournament is never feeling so calm in his life. He just went out and played golf because he likes to play golf.
Yep.
So that leads me to Ricky. Ricky is the nearly man. He's got 8 top 5s in majors already. 2nd at the US Open and a 5th at the US Open. 2nd in the Masters this year. He's been chasing it for too long, but what happened to Ricky Fowler this weekend?
I believe he got engaged.
He got engaged.
To an Olympic pole vaulter.
To an Olympic pole vaulter. Yeah. He is going in with a clear head, let me tell you.
I love the theory.
I think he's going to go in, and I'm not comparing his situation to any of those. They are much more extreme examples, but I think he's a nearly man anyway. There's no two ways about it. He's good enough to win. He himself went and played the course a few months ago and shot a 65 comfortably. He's good enough to win the tournament. I think he will go in without the pressure of, I've got to win a major for the first time. I fancy his chances. He did say when he finished 2nd at the Masters, he came out and for the first time he said he felt so comfortable on a Sunday. He said he's ready to win a major championship. Yep.
And that could be what it takes. I mean, Ricky's 29 now. He's not young. He's not as young as the guys you associate him with, your Jordan Speiths, your Justin Thomases. It could have just taken him this time to mature. And I'm completely with you on that theory. Well, not even, if we go over to tennis, saw it with Andy Murray.
Yeah.
Andy Murray, when he had his first kid, I'm sure he won Wimbledon.
Yeah, he did.
It just that when you're so happy off the pitch, off the court, off the course, you come in and you play your best.
And golf is the biggest mental game there is going.
Yep.
I think you're right. It touched on the Masters as well. 8 top 5s there. I think you could even argue 7 of those. Even when I watched him and he was leading or second, I didn't truly think he could win. I didn't truly think he could get over the line. You kind of waited for someone to catch him. But that charge on the Sunday at the Masters was unbelievable. Yep. And actually, if Reed hadn't, as much as I don't like the fact that Reed won, he held his nerve well. He played a great round of golf and did exactly what he needed to do. But Fowler's charge was phenomenal.
He's a bit like Sergio-ish. Well, I mean, he's not had as quite dramatic collapses as Sergio losing to like Padraig Harrington in playoffs and stuff. But yeah, you never really fancy that he's going to come out, take the tournament by the scruff of the neck, and go with it. This could change him. I hope it changes him, because I love Ricky Fowler and I think he does deserve to win one. He deserves to be a major champion. If you were to finish your career with all those runner-ups, you'd be sick.
You would.
You'd be absolutely sick.
You go onto his Wikipedia page now and even you wince as you see second. It's so cruel. You'd actually rather have a first, 50th, 30th.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. Are you having his all orange outfits?
I I like that he's trying to make some sort of tradition, but I'm just glad he got rid of the flat beak hats a bit more now. To be honest with you, mind you, the way that Nike go with Cloven, he doesn't look so out of place anymore. To be honest,
no,
on the golf course.
Completely. Right, Big John Ram.
Yeah.
Strokes gained off the tee, second behind only Dustin Johnson. He's another one. I had written him off to win the Masters because I didn't think he had the temperament for it, and I think he ended up finishing 5th or 6th or something like that. Yeah, great player. I like the fact that he gets angry because it shows a sort of human side. I don't really want golfers to bottle up their anger. I want them to let it out. I want clubs flying into lakes. I want people fly kicking their own bags. Like, shout at spectators if they shout something stupid like mashed potatoes. Just walk up, headbutt, move on to the next shot straight down the middle of the fairway. I like that he's angry and that he's himself. And yeah, I don't think he'll win, but I definitely do think he'll be a major champion in the future. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
He's a major champion for sure. And although I agree his temperament was good at the Masters, I think this course could get the better of him. If he's in the rough one too many times, his head could go.
Yeah.
And as funny as it would be to see him headbutt someone.
Honestly, I am not having that he's 23.
No, I know.
His kid's 23. But game-wise, his driving accuracy, 129th in the PGA Tour. I totally agree. If he does go in the rough and it doesn't go his way, the ball doesn't come out the way he wants to come out, he could very easily lose the plot and unravel.
Yeah.
On to the next one, Jordan Spieth. He has not had a good season.
No, he has not had a good season. But I will never rule Jordan Speith out for a major. Because I think the last 3 or 4 majors going in, not playing very well, and up he turns.
Yeah.
The Masters, his form before the Masters was dreadful. He was struggling to make cuts everywhere. And he will probably view that as an opportunity missed. He was leading after the first round, finished 3rd in the end. It was awesome.
Thought he was going to run away with it after 2 rounds.
I was concerned that it was going to be boring.
Yeah, same. Genuinely, like, he's on that course, he can hit the course record every round. Him and probably no one else.
Yeah.
Like, on that course. So the general misconception about Jordan Spieth is that he's the best putter in the game. Strokes gained putting, he's 190th on the tour. Off the tee, he's 18th. He's accurate off the tee. Maybe not as long as some of them, but he's accurate. Strokes gained in his approach shots, 18th. Strokes gained around the green, 17th. It's his putting that's the weakest part of his game, which people just assume, because sometimes his putter does get hot, and when it gets hot, he misses.
He's unstoppable.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
like for one stage at the Masters, the front 9, I think he was about 6 under after about 8 holes. It looked like he was just going to smash the course record and win at one stage. Because like you say, once that putter gets hot, everything goes in. But it hasn't been this year. He's a weird one. He's not played well this season at all. And if it was anyone else on that list, I would say no, not a chance. But I'm not saying that about Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, I think it's a mentality thing with Jordan Spieth as well. He is a winner.
Yeah, he's a winner. He's a big game player.
Out and out, big game player, out and out winner.
Well, the one that always stands out for me was the Open, where he lost the plot, and if it was Rory McIlroy, he would have come 15th. He was 3 shots ahead of Cooch the whole way. It went dreadfully wrong, and he finished with birdie, eagle, birdie, birdie to win. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. That's when he was not playing well. Like I said, he just turned it on.
I think most people listening to this will play and they know how easy it is for when you do hit a bogey, or in our case, triple or quadruple bogey. It's just so easy to let the head go down and lose the plot in the next hole, next few holes. And that applies to the professionals as well. It's exactly what we're saying about Jon Rahm, exactly what we say about Rory McIlroy. But Jordan Spieth is that strong-headed that, as you said, he turned it around, didn't let it beat him, and as a result,
he has that ability to there is the saying, isn't there, one shot at a time, but it feels like he he actually has the ability to do that. Forget about whatever just happened.
Yep.
The only shot that matters is this one that I'm standing over now. Which, like you said, I know I can't do. If I hit a triple bogey, I'm following up with a triple bogey.
No, honestly, you should have seen us when we played 2 weeks ago. Putts were getting
shambles.
When it started to mean something, we did a Ginger Sports golf day. Quick anecdote, and me, Dara, Martin, and Gordon. It was me and Gordon versus Martin and Dara. When it got to the 15th hole and putts started to really mean something, 4-footers were getting missed for fun. Honestly, even Martin, who's a really good golfer, missed about a 3-foot putt to win the match for Dara and Martin, and then me and Gordon came back and won. But yeah, everything was getting 3 or 4 putted. It was horrendous. Right, defending champion Brooks Koepka. He's been out injured. He was out injured for 4 or 5 months this season, but he's a phenomenal player. He's one of those I'm quite scared Ryder Cup wise, because everything in golf to me just boils down to the Ryder Cup. It's my favourite thing about the game. It might be my favourite thing in sport. I'm scared when I see Brooks because he bombs it and he's very, very good.
I'm scared about the Ryder Cup in general. Their team at the moment is ridiculous. Yeah. But he's playing well as well. He played well this week. I think he came in the top 10 this week. Yeah,
a couple of top 10s this season. He was one. He hasn't actually started enough tournaments to qualify for PGA Tour stats, so I'll get nothing on him. But yeah, he was second 2 weeks ago at Fort Worth, and he was tied 11th at the Players Championships.
Yeah. And he was pretty dominant when he won last year. I think he ended up winning by 3 or 4 shots.
Yeah.
And he played the last round as well as he could have.
Think he can win it again?
I certainly wouldn't rule him out. I think he is more than capable of a top 10 finish.
Yeah, I would
it's a
agree.
Very different course to last year. That's the only thing you would say.
It's just it's whether he feels sharp enough in his game. I know he has been. He's been back a couple of months, but it's whether he's got that sharpness about him. I think he's another one. I think he's another one of the young American guys in your Patrick Reed, Jordan Spieth mould, where they've just got this arrogance about them, where they trust their own game so much that it does help them, and that they can just carry it through and get the win. Whereas some other guys like a Sergio Garcia always had mental problems. Luke Donald, former world number 1.
I think I read earlier as well, he's the world number 1 for about the 8th longest out of all players that have played the game.
Yeah.
No majors to show for it. No real big tournament wins to show for it.
And that's where it makes a difference. It's all right winning the Valspar or the WGC Hero. It's fine. Looks good. You get a win. You get a lot of money. The majors is where it counts. It's a totally different kind of pressure. It's times 100. Can you do it in that environment? And Luke Donald, as much as I like him and I do think he's a good player, just didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't, as you say, he was world number 1, didn't do it. Another one of these headstrong Americans who really annoys me, Bryson DeChambeau. I like a natural player. I like someone that just goes out and just has a feel for the game, not someone that's mechanical and meticulous and has to have everything to the precise degree. And everything about him annoys me. His hat annoys me. His name annoys me. DeChambeau. I don't know. But he's a very good player.
Yeah, and he's young. I wouldn't want to play with him. I know exactly what you mean. I feel like he'd be such a frustrating playing partner.
Yeah, but 1 win this season, 6 top 10s. He's good off the tee. I don't think he will win, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. He's
another one in that bucket, isn't he? Where he is capable of winning it. I don't think he will, but he is capable.
They're just so arrogant. They're
That's like you said, he will, even though I don't know what his odds are off the top of my head, he must be 20, 30 a favourite.
40 to 1.
40 to 1. He will go in there thinking he can win the tournament.
Yeah.
100%.
It was like Patrick Reed in 2014.
Yeah.
He's like, I am one of the best players in the world, and after about, it was like 4 PGA Tour starts or something, and you're like, okay, then right, Patrick Reed. Let's talk about our Masters champion, the Dick Dastardly of the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to feel sorry for him in that everyone hates him, or just hate him like everyone else, and I think he enjoys the hate. There's some stories that he's very attached to his wife's family and he's disowned his family, and there's not good stories from his time in university on the college teams. I don't want to dive into that too much, but I think that's why a lot of people have a problem with him. I had a problem with his comments in 2014 saying he was one of the best players in the world when he clearly wasn't, and I tend not to like these young brash Americans because it's just arrogance over anything else. But yeah, I actually picked Patrick Reed to win the Masters for those exact reasons. Hate him, but picked him to win the Masters and won a little bit of cash on him. But
I don't like him. I don't like him at all, and I can see why most European golf fans would not like him. It does surprise me that he's not popular at all in America, because he has got that brash Captain America attitude that so many people that go in there shouting mashed potato like.
He's their Ian Poulter. Basically, he's their Ian Poulter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there is no in between, you love him or hate him.
Yeah.
And he's also 40-1. I think I had him at 50-1 to win the Masters, so bookies bringing his odds down a bit. He's still played quite well after the Masters. He's had a few top tens. He's not relaxed.
And you often see a big lull after a first major.
You do. But, I hope he doesn't. I'll be fuming. I'll be happy if he misses the cut.
Him and Keegan Bradley.
Yeah, you can throw quite a few. Right. Tommy Fleetwood, another dark horse. Best player in Europe in 2017, number 12 player in the world. I think he could have a decent chance because strokes gained off the tee, he's 9th. He's got 68% driving accuracy, 7th at the Players, 17th at the Masters. His record in majors is good.
Yeah.
For me, he's a big game player. I know he hasn't won a major, but
he's only played a handful of majors as well,
and he's performed well in most of them.
I'm a big fan. If I remember rightly, he actually made a bit of a run last year as well. I think he might have finished in the top 5, top 10 last year at the US Open.
I think you could be right. I think he was top 5.
Yeah, massive fan of him. I think he could.
Looks like Jesus,
which is great. One of the very few players in the Ryder Cup team, which I think, I fancy him against most of those in a matchup.
Yep. He's very sound as well, and I mean that as in when you hear his interviews, he's very down to earth.
Yeah,
he's considering he's, according to the world golf rankings, he's the 12th best golfer in the world. He would be within his rights if he wanted to be a bit of a superstar.
Yeah,
he's just not. He's a cool guy, and he's easy to root for and easy for you to want him to do well. So I'd be more than happy if he won it. Do you know, I started to put Mark Leishman in, and then I looked at his driving stats, and I was like, nah. He's 50-1, and he's the 14th. He's had 6 top 10s this season. He's the 14th player in the world, but he's wild off the tee, so I scrapped it.
Yeah.
Right.
The man I pulled out from that middle range of kind of 50-1 odds, Louis Oosthuizen.
Oosthuizen's...
Because for similar reasons, it doesn't matter too much how well he's been playing in the season. He's got a Grand Slam of seconds in majors, which, although is not what he would want, it would show that he turns up. He has also won the Open as well, the Open Championship.
100%. Pressure would not get to him in the slightest.
He's a big game player again. He loves the majors. 50-1 are long odds on him. He's
sneaking in under the radar as well. I've not heard anyone talk about Louis Oosthuizen. I was looking at the odds as well, and I just scrolled right by him. I was thinking of maybe sticking Alex Noren or Patrick Cantley in there, Francesco Molinari.
He just strikes me as one of the players on tour, and I'm surprised there's not more of these players, like you mentioned. He's made his cash. He's made his money.
Yep.
He lives for those 4 tournaments a year. He's very well aware that he could win 2 or 3 PGA Tour tournaments in Texas or whatever that don't mean a great deal, or he could focus all his energy onto these 4 big tournaments each year, which is what he seems to do.
Yeah, and he's won tournaments worldwide as well. So
he won the Open Championship, lost the Masters in a playoff, came second at the PGA Championship last year to Justin Thomas.
Yeah, you just don't think of him. You don't think of him at all. And yeah, no, you're right to bring him up. You get anyone else you want to speak about before we go to your picks?
There was one more at 50-1, which almost made me chuckle when I saw his name, because I realised this is just not his course. Bubba Watson, 50-1. I say that he could, if he drives to the best of his ability, he could pull off some ridiculous shots.
Yeah.
However, I just don't see it.
He's a wild man off the tee,
man, and he gets like most of Bubba's best shots are actually recovery shots, because he's done something ridiculous beforehand. You think of the Masters shot, the famous one, which was probably the best shot I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But what you don't think about is just how bad the drive was for him to be in that place in the first place.
Yeah.
And this course, he won't be able to play a miraculous recovery shot. He will have to hit the ball 20 yards back onto the fairway.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably a good bet for him missing the cut.
Yeah,
I totally agree. Right, shall we? I think we're nearly at an hour, so you want to... We'll go on to our odds. So we've both picked 6 players in different categories. So first 2 players are at odds of over 100-1. Maybe an outside we each way bet. Who have you got?
I'll go for the longer odds first.
Yep.
So odds of over 100-1. There was a few names that popped up for me. Charlie Hoffman, Ross Fisher were in with a shout. The 2 I've gone with, Brian Harman at 100-1.
I have also gone with Brian Harman.
Runner-up last year, solid player. 100-1 is generous on him. That's double the odds of Bubba. That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, that's great odds. I will probably be putting something on that.
Brian Harman, I've got him in bets at 365 at 125-1. But like Coral, I've got him at 80-1. He's had 7 top 10s this season, which is the same amount as Dustin Johnson. It's very good odds.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's in with a shout of at least a top 10 finish. So for an each way bet, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the second one I've got at over 100-1 is Tyrrell Hatton.
Ooh,
I was a little bit unsure with this because he's got a temper.
little bit.
But he is also a really good player. I've watched him play a few times and I like the way he plays. Talking about that temper, the reason I've picked him is because of his playing partners on the first 2 days, which I think will keep him in check and calm as he plays with Ian Poulter and Danny Willett. And I think he'll go out there and have fun. I think it will take a lot of the pressure off. If he was playing next to Dustin Johnson, you know he's the type that think, oh God, he's hit it 350 yards. I need to hit it 352 yards.
That's spot on.
Like, that is Tyrrell Hatton. But if he's playing along these 2, he knows them well. They're probably good friends. I think he could make the cut, and then you never know. A lot of these 100-1 odds, if they make the cut, they're in with a shout. You never know what they could do on moving day and day 4. But they're the 2 I've gone for.
Yeah, Hatton's a good shot. He is a good player, like you say. He's either a miscut or he's going to be right up there.
Yeah.
Right up there. So I also went for Brian Harman, same reasons. The other one I've went for is Rafa Cabrera Bello. He's 110-1 and his record in majors is horrible. It's terrible, but I still think he's a very good player. I think he's a steady player, and for an each way bet, I could see him just not doing anything stupid. I'd see him when the weather's up in the air, just hitting fairways, hitting greens, making pars, while everyone around him's making bogeys. And for that reason, I've gone for him. I'm not massively confident on it. He could easily miss a cut. But I think 110's too high for a player of his ability. Good value. Right, next tier is between 30 to 1 and 100 to 1. Who have you went for?
So I've just spoken about him, Louis Oosthuizen. My first one at 50 to 1. I think those odds are superb for someone who is there or thereabouts. I think he is always in with a shout. So him first up. And then the second one, do you know what? I found this tough actually. I almost found more people over 100 to 1 that I thought might have a chance. This seems to be the bracket of players that you know are good golfers but don't suit this tournament and course.
Right.
So it's that awkward stage. But the one I have selected, he is on the cusp of this in the next bracket. But I have found odds on William Hill of 30 to 1 for Henrik Stenson. I think his free wood is dynamite.
Yep.
He's accurate. He's long. He could do well.
Yep, 100%. Stenson and Oosthuizen are solid outside chances. I've went for two Englishmen that we've spoken about, Tommy Fleetwood and Paul Casey, who are both 45 to 1. I think Tommy Fleetwood, because he's not a very big personality, and I don't say that in a mean way, you don't see him out advertising everything. I don't see him massively active on social media. He might be, and I'm just not seeing it. But he's a very good player, and 45 to 1 only, I think, reflects how good the rest of the field are. I don't think that reflects on how good Tommy Fleetwood is. So I think he's got a real chance, and again, I think his game, he should win a major at some point. It could very easily be now. Paul Casey, again, we've spoken about him. He's playing as good a golf as he has in his life. The arrogance could carry him through. Yeah, I'm second guessing myself now, but I'm going to stick with Paul Casey. I think Paul Casey could do it. Right. What about your favourites? And odds are less than 30 to 1.
This is where it gets tough because pretty much all the names we mentioned at the start, I think, can win this tournament.
Any of them can win.
Rory, Spieth, DJ, JT, Day, any of them. The two I've gone for, the first one is Justin Rose. He's just been too consistent this year. Like, he's winning and he's top 10s, and I think he's built for this course. I would be shocked if he's not in the top 5 actually this weekend. I think he's got such a good chance of winning, but I would be more than anything, I would be really surprised if he is not there or thereabouts on the last day.
Yep.
I think he's the man to watch. But I think the one I'm going to vouch as my winner, simply because I put so much research and effort into it, is Ricky Fowler. I think it's his time. I think he's good enough to win a major. His run at the Masters was, I think, for him, career changing in that he now believes himself he can win. That's the big thing for him, and I think he'll go in with a clear head. He's played the course with Spieth. He shot a 65. He's a major champion. I think he can win it.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy for Ricky to win it. I think if I could pick, it'd be a toss up between Ricky and Phil. If I could just pick someone to win, Tiger. Yeah, probably Tiger. Yeah, but closely in front of Ricky and Phil. I've went for Jason Day just because I think, again, he's just flying under the radar, and I think he's such a good player. 18 to 1. Yeah, it's great value. Great value. And the other one I've went for, based on nothing, is Rory McIlroy.
You can't not back him.
Yeah, I think it's biased, to be honest. I want him to win, and I want him to be he is a great player, but I want him to be one of the best of all time. So I want him to keep on winning majors. As you said, he's really struggling to put 4 rounds together at the moment, which logic would say he's not going to be able to do that at a tough US Open course. But I believe. I'm happy just to go out on a limb and say if he puts 4 rounds together, he's better than anyone in that field. I'd fancy him over anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
And then one final question. Does Tiger Woods make the cut?
Yes. Tiger Woods makes the cut and is within 6 shots on Sunday, and I am sitting on my couch and not moving, watching the full thing.
I really hope you're right. I'm going on Tiger to not make the cut. I think it's going to be a heartbreak.
Yeah, you're going on logic. I'm going on heart. I'm just going all heart.
I'm only saying that because I know I'm on an aeroplane on Sunday and I can't watch.
Ah.
So if it is happening, I'm just not going to board the plane.
Right, there we go. We'll end on that.